I'm Leo Gilling. I'm here at Port Maria High. You just saw the intro, but the intro video. But I'm particularly happy to be here, and I'm going to take it in strides here. I want to meet the past principal, right? Can you tell us your name?
I'm Audrey Brown.
Audrey Brown. And how long were you here for? From
26 years plus.
Am I that old?
I have been here since 1995. And so now I am at the conference office where I serve as the Director of Education. So I'm Mrs. Andrews' immediate supervisor.
And the conference center, that's one in Montego Bay?
No, that's the one in Dover.
In Dover.
Right. So that's the area of Portland and St. Mary. So all the schools in Portland and St. Mary Adventist schools are under my jurisdiction.
Okay. How many are those?
We have 7.
7. Okay.
7 prep and high, 2 high, 3 prep, and the basic schools. So I think we have about 14 basic schools, 14 basic schools, 3 prep school, 2 high schools.
And so what would you say your remit is? What would you say your job is?
Well, I have to go into the schools to check on that they are following the mandate of the government as it pertains to education, also upholding the policies of the church as it relates to Adventist Christian education, combining the two, ensuring that they are on the same level. I supervise the administrators of the schools, so the principal in particular, relate and check on the schools from time to time, needs, and to see where we are, how best we can improve, and strategic plan to include the school to ensure that we grow each year.
So while you were here, what was your relationship with past students?
Very few.
Very few.
That I had a relationship with. It has been one of the hardest things since I have come to the school. Is the ability to actually bring the past students together. Normally we have a group of students who get very inspired at a particular moment, and they would come and we form the association, and then they have about 1 or 2 meetings and
what do you think is the cause of that? What do you think?
Sometimes it may be distance, sometimes maybe interest. Change and so forth and so on, because people are different and they have different roles. Sometimes there are some persons who started locally, but some of those persons migrate and the interest level doesn't remain the same. But we do have about 2 past students that I am sure of in recent times who have been in constant dialogue with the school. One that sends funds every year, every June to be exact, to help with the building, maintenance of the building for the school.
Well, I am very happy to meet you. It's an honor because we don't get to see our principals come back to the schools that they leave behind. So it's good to see you. I've been a member of. I've gone to several schools, and heck to see the principals who pass to come back. So it's great to have you be a part of the development of the schools.
And just to add to that though, that I am not the only one who would come back, because the education director for Jamaica Union Conference, and that's the director all across for the Adventist schools, 19 prep school, 8 high school, is the past principal of this school.
Oh wow, that's nice to hear. Oh my God. Michael Henry, okay, great. It's good to hear. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn to Mrs. Andrews, right?
Yes, that is.
I'm going to come closer to you so that I can see your face, and everybody going to recognize you. Good afternoon, how are you?
Good afternoon, I'm fine.
First of all, I'm happy that you were able to accept me. I stepped in here without knowing why, who, what, all of that good stuff. So I'm glad that you were able to say, yes, come on in and talk. So
and I'm happy that you invited yourself in.
Oh my God. So it tells me much about you that you have an open door policy, and so that's pretty good. Thank you so much. All right, so Mrs. Andrews, tell us about the school. I want to know, well, tell me about where you come from. Are you from St. Mary?
I am from St. Mary.
Rokobesa?
No, not a Rockabilly.
You could have
I'm
said-
not a Bayside.
Could not tell me lie, man. Just tell me lie.
I'm from the north side.
All right,
of the
all right,
island,
all right.
yes.
All right, and then and so you attend the school too?
I didn't attend the school, no, but I some years back I came here as as I left high school, I decided to do 2 external subjects, and I did evening classes here.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
Because even though I was a part of St. Mary, grew up in St. Mary and all of that, I didn't know much about the school. Right? I didn't really know much about this private institution. I just knew that there was a Seventh-day Adventist school in the area. Didn't know much about it because I attended a public school setting.
During the time that I was here, it was mostly Eastern Parish students, and from in the inlands of St. Mary. Those were the people, but they were like from Richmond.
I think those communities, they are part of the Central Jamaica Conference, right, Miss Brown?
Which one?
Like the Richmond and the Highgate.
Yeah, Highgate here, yeah.
They were.
A
Guys.
part of Central and then the
But there are
school.
still no.
Yes, the school was a part of Central Jamaica.
Oh.
So where I'm from would not be Central Jamaica. So it would have been East Conference.
I see.
Right?
I
But
see.
the church would have
Yes.
grown and there was some restructuring.
Yes,
So
yes.
the school is now a part of Northeast Jamaica Conference, right? And
Okay.
the parishes of St. Mary and Portland.
Okay.
So now the school is
So
a part of that.
we're glad to have you now. I mean,
Yes.
we're glad for Tifia from. All right. So how is the school doing? In terms of students leaving, graduating. What's the population of the school? That kind of stuff. And
I'll tell you that if you should do a survey of the school, of the institution, you would find out that we have past students in every field.
Yes.
In St. Mary,
Yes.
in Jamaica, overseas. But look at you and the others too. We have past students scattered all around. We have done I believe the school have done a tremendous work, because coming from a Seventh-day Adventist or a Christian background, the values, the morals that we instill in the children, I think we'd have done a good job
Yes.
on these students. Our population is very small. We have a little over 350 students, and that's coming from kindergarten. So we take students from as early as 3 years old,
Yes.
all the way up to 17, or the time of high school, when they leave high school. So our population is very small. We want to extend, but at the same time, looking at our facilities, we may not be able to extend right at this moment.
Right.
The community, a lot of persons know about the Portmore High School community, the family that is here.
Yes.
And when I do interviews with the parents, they'll tell me that I am sending my child to this school because I want my child to have certain values, make certain contribution towards society. So we have been still is playing a significant role in society out there. And if you should do your own survey and ask about Portmore High School.
Now you don't have to tell me. I found my wife here.
Look at that.
I mean, we're divorced, but we spent 28 years, right? So you don't have to tell me that, right?
Even recently, we were talking with a superintendent of police, and she was saying that Portmore was never an issue. The school was never an issue. They don't have it on our radar, to come about any disciplinary problems.
Right.
And I'm not saying that we have perfect students
No,
here.
I
We
understand.
don't.
It's always been
But
like that.
I'm saying that when it comes on to discipline and even the students' work, academics,
Yes.
it has been doing well. We have a good name out there.
You say kindergarten and not infant school. Why is that?
Maybe it's because of the private school, so we
Okay,
call it
I
kindergarten
see.
department. But
Gotcha. The same
age
gotcha.
group,
Okay,
same
gotcha.
age
All
group.
right, gotcha. All right. And then you do CXCs here. So how is that? How's that going?
We do CSEC, and also just recently we started doing what is known as City and Guilds. I don't think you're familiar.
I've never heard that one before.
It's an
Okay.
English exam, and I think it's now becoming popular among the secondary schools.
Okay.
So recently we have started our City and Guilds. So this year in particular, we have started. The children did a speaking examination. They were supposed to, read a content and do presentation. And trust me, doing this subject for the very first year, our assessor, she was very impressed.
Okay,
She was
good.
impressed with the students, how they were able to handle themselves, you know, how they spoke well and they did their interviews. It was well done, right?
What would you say are the 3 primary things that's missing in the school's development right now?
The 3 primary, I wouldn't want to say missing. I would say the 3 things that would need improvement.
Okay, thank you.
I would say
Thank
that.
you so much.
So of course our facility, we need to improve on our facility. The structure, the building, there are a lot of classes, labs that we have, you know, sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down, and it's based on the availability of funds,
Okay.
right? So we would really need that to be up to par.
Explain
right?
that a little bit more for the.
Okay, so for example, our science lab, we
Right.
find that we have our science labs, we have a space for it, we have certain furniture there, but we don't have the chemicals, we don't have the right tool, right,
okay.
all of those
Yeah,
things.
so
Even
you-
our
so-
computer labs, we have our computer labs, some of them are up, some are down, some of them, I think none of them have AC and they need the AC air conditioning
does.
in order to operate properly. So yes, these facilities, we need to improve on them. And we have our foods or management lab too, right? So those are some of the areas that would really need, you know,
Okay.
improvement
Okay.
on. Even the classrooms. There are times when it comes on to the summer, we have a little dust nuisance. Right now we have paved the area, so we don't have it as much, but it still exists.
Right.
So we'd love to tile the space, right? Enclose the space or classroom. I'm not sure if you went upstairs.
No, I've not
but the
gone
classroom,
inside. I've
They're
not gone
not totally enclosed, especially the upstairs. So there are no windows and doors, right? So the facility really needs some improvement. The association. We need that support from our past students. You know, they would have come here, they would have gotten something, they're contributing to society, just to remember us, right? Yes, so that we can help others who come after you. Isn't that true?
That's true.
Right.
That's
So
true.
so of course we need to really build our past student association.
Okay.
We really need to build that. We need to get it going, build that so that you can be proud of your institution, your past institution, and we can also, by doing that, you are recommending others to the institution.
Yes.
All right, so those are some of the things that we really need to.
You still have an active volleyball and track and field.
Need the tools for that.
Yes, that is what we need to, prior to COVID, the students were active when it comes on to track and field. We interface with our sister schools, right? So we would have gone to Kingston where they participate in track and field, netball, football, cricket and all those things, and also Montego Bay, they interface with the other schools there. But we find out now because of COVID, and we are moving back towards that, you know.
Okay.
So the intention is to incorporate new sporting activity. They have an interest of badminton because we had badminton prior to COVID.
Yes.
We have not had that since. So of course we need to charter the way forward, incorporate some new sporting activity to get them involved. We'd love to have a
Yeah.
multi-purpose court around the back there.
Yeah,
Right?
when
Because
we
whenever we
decide-
have sporting activity, we use the facilities from the soldier camp, which is right next door.
Oh,
They
okay.
always accommodate us. But
Okay.
we'd love to have our little space. We have
Because you have the space- have the
around
space
the
for
back.
it, when
We
they-
have the space, not
when they-
necessarily for the football, because you know we would need that, but for the netball.
Yeah,
Basketball.
when we were here, when I was here, they had an active volleyball.
Yes.
They had probably one of the best singing groups around here.
Oh, we have our singing groups.
Still?
That's a given.
Okay,
That's a given.
got,
Yes.
and
We have children who, you know, they come here, they form groups. We have
Yeah.
had many of them going to the JCDC, that's the Jamaica Cultural Development.
Yes.
And they have done well.
Okay,
For
okay, that's
several
good.
years, we
That's
have
good.
received the national awards, the children, what they call it now?
Children's
The
Gospel.
Children's Gospel Fest, even the last, because we didn't have a Children's Gospel Fest this year. So last year was one of our students, or last 2 years, one of
Oh,
our
is that
students. Right, so we
She
are,
became the Jamaica's gospel star.
right.
what was her name?
The
Trisha?
Erica Lumsden.
That's Erica.
Trisha?
Yes.
What's her name?
Erica.
Erica. No,
Erica
no,
Lumsden.
Okay, yeah.
What's the name you were calling her?
Trisha Williams, I think it was. I think that she's from Montego Bay.
Oh no.
Okay, okay.
Just the recent.
Just recent one. Okay, great.
Right. So we have had our students participating out there, and they are doing well.
Okay.
They are doing
All right. So what I'm hearing is that academics is not really a big deal because your teachers are doing very well in terms of academics, but you want to bring in science and
Yes, and also too for the technical areas.
right.
We
Yes.
need those areas.
That's what I'm
to be
talking about.
improved, right.
Because when I was here too, there was a chemistry and physics were big, huge
And
areas,
you know,
subjects.
the children are doing well in those subjects. They
Okay.
do well in the subjects, but they really don't have the facility.
The facility.
And I know that if they have what it takes, they'll
Yes,
do
they'll
much
better.
better.
All right. All right. So make a plea for me. I to your past students.
Okay, all right. So my plea, I thank you very much for reaching out to the school. We appreciate the fact that you remember the institution that groomed you for society. We appreciate that. But more than just acknowledging that, yes, this was your past school, we would really hope to have that relationship with you, that you find out what is happening in your school and, you know, do whatever it takes. Little is much when God is in it. So whatever contribution you can make, I'm appealing to you to do so in order to help those who are coming after you.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach. Guys, you hear the principal? Please. So I want to make me feel bad.
Oh my.
So I guess I can't say no to them now. I'm gonna have to dig in and stuff. All right, but thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much, Mrs. Brown.
Oh, you're welcome,
we'll talk again.
And Mr. Eccles, I
Yes.
know you reached out to me, sir, and I really
Yes.
appreciate
There
the
you
fact
go.
that he reached out to you
That's-
because you're here on spot now to talk with me. So I appreciate that, Mr. Eccles.
All right, great. All right, thank you so much. All right, bye.